Are Americans avoiding the news? A recent AP University of Chicago survey found a majority of Americans want to take a step back from political news. Specifically, 65% of adults say that they need to limit news consumption due to information overload, fatigue, or similar reasons. When broken down by party, 72% of Democrats say they feel the need to avoid politics. 63% of independents reported feeling the same, compared to just 59% of Republicans.
That report means more bad news for left-leaning legacy media. MSNBC's primetime audience dropped 54%, and CNN's fell by 45% in the weeks after Election Day. Right-leaning media is faring better. For example, Fox News saw a ratings boost of 13%.
So I never want people to stop wanting to watch political news. We're a political news show. You got to stay plugged in all the time. Got to keep scrolling, keep looking for our videos. No, I think it is a good thing to take a back seat to step back and not just be consuming news or information all times. I think that does lead itself to information overload. And it is the case that now we in the news media business, we're TV news people, there's more competition for the average American's time and attention, because there's a lot more ways to spend your time, even if we're just keeping in the category of things you watch, like on your phone or on your laptop. There's now lots more content, lots more good algorithmically derived videos. You know, I see when I log on to Instagram or Facebook or something, I'm shown a lot of short videos of TV shows I like. Then, I've seen these clips 1,000 times. But yeah, I find myself watching it. It's a better way to, spend your time while you're waiting for the elevator or whatever than reading maybe some boring news. So we have to up our game to compete in this new information ecosystem, and that's all fine.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, let all the flowers bloom, so to speak, right? I do think that there is just a vastly expanded universe for political news. So it's not only a matter, obviously, of the cable networks. People can watch this show. People can watch lots of other primarily internet or digitally delivered shows. So it's not just, well, I watch, one of the big three cable networks or whatever. So that is a change. To me, the interesting thing about that poll is, on one hand, there is obviously a understandable disenchantment, particularly from liberal-leaning people who, feel that they just suffered a pretty crushing defeat, and therefore their appetite for political news is diminished. But then there's the broader question of whether the general paradigm of cable news and people just feeding constant sort of red meat outrage to a base is starting to get a little tired. And I do think that particularly among younger people, and frankly more independent-minded people, that there is a greater impatience with that model. And, I think that's a perfectly good thing, actually. I think that the idea that a format in the sense of cable news that was born around 1996 to 1998 is, everything has its moment, and its peak has plainly passed because of things like cord cutting. And I just think that there's an increasing dissatisfaction with the overall product being offered.
Sure, and the situation with viewers not wanting to watch CNN and MSNBC as much anymore, is a little bit different from the situation I was outlining a moment ago. It's certainly a documented phenomenon at this point that liberal and progressive-minded people are dissatisfied specifically with those two options, are either not choosing to just consume news as vigorously as they were before, or are looking elsewhere to get their news fix. A mix of both. Whatever the product is that you're explicitly progressive in MSNBC's case, or centrist but really from a liberal ethos at CNN, the product they're delivering there's no way around it, has a shrinking market to some degree. And there's still a healthy appetite on the right side for news and information from a generally right-leaning perspective. Now, it's why I think the whole, and also because of the competition, CNN used to be viewed very neutrally. You just have the TV on and you're getting updates on world affairs, and it's just kind of being.
You see it in the airport and things like that for that reason.
Right, neutral and fact-based, and of course they still do some amount of that reporting, but I actually do think there's just less and less of an audience for that, because people are going online to get their news from spicier, more provocative and confrontational people like maybe like yours truly.
Sure.
I don't know, and the personalities we've featured on this show. So I think the future it's not now the neutral reporting, that kind of, it still does need to be delivered, but I think the best way to deliver it in the future will be, again, not to toot our own horns, but just to you have a variety of perspectives, and that way the viewers can decide for themselves who they agree with, rather than having everyone try to be neutral.
Yep.
Instead, we're admitting we're not neutral, but we have you and we have me and we have other people, and we'll have guests from this way, that way, and everywhere in between, and that's how we arrive at how we correct for bias and try to arrive at neutrality and objectivity, not because we're pretending that we are literally neutral. We have ideologies, we have agendas, we have whatever, but we have a variety, and that way, that's the only way I can think to solve it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think that, I will toot our own horn for a second. I think the genuine debate and genuine civil disagreement still has a place, and I think stepping away from political party talking points has a very important place, because I think if you look at the way politics is changing, a very large number of Americans are not, like, people just don't regurgitate party talking points all the time. And so television products that do that, by their nature, have a limited audience, it seems to me. Whereas if you can offer something a bit fresher and hopefully a bit more intellectually honest to people, then obviously we hope for our own reasons that there's a market for that. But more generally, I do think it is good for American civic life, not to sound too high-minded about it, if that takes place.
Yeah, and this is taking place every now and then on these networks I keep disparaging. I've liked a lot of the panel discussions CNN has had lately, including with some people who are very much have a different perspective from what viewers remain. But we might just be living at the low moment for the liberal mindset, or thinking where I'm going to get my information from. I think liberals are a bit demoralized right now, not energized the way they were when Trump won the first time. Like, well, now we're going to resist. Now we're going to fight. They're very demoralized at this moment, but that could always change.
I do think the numbers will improve from where they are for both MSNBC and CNN. I am no fan of Fox, but I mean the numbers are extraordinary. In that AP article, the primetime audience of Fox is around 2.7 million, and MSNBC's roughly 600,000 and CNN's 400,000. I mean that disparity is enormous.
We have that many people watch our show in any given 24-hour period, so it's and we have not quite the same resources at our disposal as CNN and MSNBC.
Only a matter of time, Robby.
Only a matter of time. Well, if Elon buys MSNBC, I want to audition for Elon TV.
Elon TV all the way. I'll be out of a job.
No. We'd have you on all the time. It'd be great. Well, we're tooting our own horns, but there will be lots of tooting of horns tomorrow as New Year's Eve is celebrated. We will have one final show, one final episode of Rising for the year 2024. That's coming tomorrow. You won't want to miss it. In the meantime, be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss any content. And for those of you who like to listen while on the go, now available anywhere you can get podcasts. See you back here tomorrow. Take care.